So this leads beautifully, I think, to the last segment. Like another thing I've heard you talk about is this thing of being moved. So being moved, I've heard you say this a number of times.
Yeah.
You say that a lot, actually.
Just thinking about it makes me, I don't know where you're going. Yeah.
So being moved to approach, as opposed to telling yourself, I'm gonna go approach. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
What that feels like.
Yeah, like, and you've seen this plenty of times, how I am, um, to make things clear, when just because a girl doesn't move me, if I see a beautiful girl but she does not move me to approach her, it's not a justification. It's not a justification, whereas like I'm gonna explain to you like, oh, she's not my type, because you probably think like I was nervous, or I find an excuse of not approaching her.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm in a binding, whereas like, yes, I would tell myself, well, let me just go find out. That's only as if if an anxiety comes back to me, and I haven't felt that for a very long time. I'm trying to invite and approach anxiety these days now.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that for a very long time.
Yeah.
So that being said, being moved by a woman to approach her, my way to have a woman move me is like, okay, I have all these experience, and I could tell how the interaction would be in the first 5 seconds if I approach her, because I've been in this situation so many times where I stop a girl at the door when she's about to walk in the store, or like she's about to go up to the escalator, or this awkward moments, or it could be socially awkward because the human traffic is just right there and we're in the way. But I don't care about these awkward moments, because if she moves me, it's like the way how she moves herself, because any girl out there could look pretty. Okay, it'll take her like 2 hours, up to an hour and a half to 2 hours dressing up, putting on makeup to make her look beautiful.
Yeah.
But how many women can you find that could spend an hour and a half to 2 hours of getting ready to look beautiful, and also move beautiful and move sexy?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like for instance, because I know I'm sitting down here, but I will kind of demonstrate by the facial expressions. Is like, you got two different girls that look really gorgeous, but if she was just sitting down and just doing this, girl number one just like, right? It doesn't move me just by looking at her. No. And then girl number two, she's gorgeous, and then she's like, just people watching, just like smiling. It moves me because she's curious, but she moves so beautiful. It's like a movie scene. Yeah. You just want to be part of it. Yeah. So, and there's plenty of times that like it would be my first approach of the day. There's plenty of times I haven't approached anyone for like a week or two, and because whenever I see a beautiful scene with a beautiful woman, whether she's stationary or walking, and there's something about her, I'm like, the curiosity comes in, because I'm so curious, because curiosity is part of being moved. And I'm so curious why you're here, why are you sitting there, why it's like asking like who gave me this gift right here? There's a beautiful, this is a gift to me, this is beautiful, right? And then so I'm feeling it, I'm explaining to you in detail what's going on with me, as if I'm visualizing these moments where I'm so moved, like, why are you here? Like, who are you? And I'm telling that to myself. And I have people look at me too. They're like, just like, and I don't have to say one word. They're like, you want to talk to her? I was like, of course. And I go talk to her, and it comes so natural. Yeah. I don't think about anything. And all my interactions, I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound cocky, but all my interactions, that when a girl really moves me to the point that I just have to go talk to her at any cost, these women never rejected that moment. No. but it comes to that area, that feeling where I'm like, oh, I have to talk to you. Like, even like, it doesn't sound like I'm horny, but I'm just like, really? Why are you here? Oh my God, I got 2 minutes. Screw it. I'm gonna talk to you, you know? And so that's my way of being moved, with curiosity, to be curious about that woman, you know, what it would be like to just interact with her.
Yeah. So in a way, you could say you're already connecting with her before actually going up to her, because you're noticing something about her.
Yeah.
She's giving you some kind of energy, you could say.
Yeah, and the energy you mentioned by energy. I'm glad you brought that up. It's an inviting energy, because I give women an inviting energy. I could say the stupidest things ever. I could just say, like, can you believe, you know, I could say the dumbest thing is like, you know, like, look at my freaking nail. Look how nice that is. Like, really? And like, I could say the dumbest thing, but because I'm expressing myself, I'm inviting her, I'm giving her an inviting energy to talk about just about anything that's dumb. But then at the same time, like, if she's being receptive, like, she's inviting me to go talk to her, and it's a powerful thing, and I can feel it with women. It's very hard to explain, but but I'm aware how I'm feeling. Like, it's like as if the woman is moving really beautifully and sexy, as if like I'm inviting you to talk to me without even giving me a wink, because girls not gonna give me a wink, but or just signal me doing this, but they have the way of just like, you know, just moving beautifully. Like I said, I explained about girl number 2, just like, you know, just doing this and just being curious about her surroundings, be curious about what's going on, rather than a girl just like, that's not an inviting energy.
No.
Girl number 2 is just like, you know, if someone talks to me, then I'm gonna be really receptive.
Yeah, right.
And I could get that energy from her.
Yeah.
You know, it's really powerful, and a lot of guys are not realizing this. I mean, I had a couple of clients that I made them just sit down in front of a lot of girls, and don't say a word, don't even approach them yet, and just wait until you feel that energy from them. And then I point that out, whisper in her ear, like, you see, she's giving the inviting energy. You're not aware of it. She's not even looking at you right now, but she's gonna be really receptive.
Yeah, that takes me to the thing I was thinking while you were talking now, is this thing of, so what if a guy is saying, okay, I don't feel moved, I can't feel it. How does he go from there to actually starting to experience what you're explaining here?
Well, at some point when he's not getting that breakthrough yet, then I'm gonna have to put him, you know, I'm gonna have to put him in situations where he has to push his comfort zone and just push a lot of women, though, and then of course accept the real world feedback from these women.
He's not maybe feeling moved at the moment.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, because it only takes one moment, or like if I say that, if I tell you that if you do 100 approaches and just one of them, you're gonna have an insta date, and then you're gonna have like maybe 1 or 2 dates and have an amazing sex with her, but you're gonna be again, I have to say that, rejected 99 times, but that just one approach, it's gonna go so well. That one approach is gonna lead you to a beautiful, whether it's a sexual relationship or just a beautiful relationship. And as a beginner, telling him that, he has to take consideration and think about it. Should I risk my emotions? Should I risk it all? Should I be rejected 99 times just to have this one beautiful relationship with the woman? So that one time, if once he has that moment where she's receptive and it leads to something further, then that would change his life already. That's only as if he has self-awareness, that because the problem what I see a lot of guys is that they succeeded in the past, and then they dated someone and they've been in a relationship for like 3-4 years, or even got married and then split up, and then they feel like they're back to, you know, level one.
Yeah, yeah.
But really, they had to look back at all the good experiences they had, and also how did they get that relationship that they thought they failed, or the marriage that they thought they failed. How did they get that far? Was because, could it be because of the approach, right? So they had to look all these good moments that they had with these interactions with these women.
Yeah.
So like I said, it only takes one moment with awareness that that it will keep these guys consistent to meet women and not be in their heads. Okay, so there's 3 levels. What I see in these guys are going through, you know, the beginning stage and the intermediate stage, and then the fully awareness stage.
Yeah.
And so in the beginning stage, then I would tell every guys that to approach, like to go find out for yourself, to get all these experiences with these women. So then the next time you're in a situation where you see a beautiful woman, and this is a beautiful scene right in front of you, and you ask yourself, did I had enough experience to be prepared for this? Regardless if you ask yourself or not, you still need to take action. Yeah. But it does help out that you have all these experiences, real world feedback from these women, whether they rejected you or not. So then when you're in this situation, again, when you see a beautiful woman right in front of you, it would come so natural to you. You'll be in tune into your body depending on how many experiences you had. Yeah. Because one of the ways to be in tune into my body is, like, if I'm in that situation, say if I had an anxiety, then I look back of all the experiences that I had with these women, beautiful experiences, like, whereas like I was so nervous, so I approached this girl, or I only had 1 minute or 2 minutes, and I approached this girl and I got her number, and we had a date a few days later, and then we just had sex, and it was a beautiful thing that she just started cuddling with me and lay her head on my chest and just sucking all in with those moments, and then build a relationship with her, or didn't have a relationship with her. Still, all these moments are so beautiful. So and you see, it only took me like less than a minute to explain that, but I'm thinking in my mind before approaching this girl. Yeah. So then I'm gonna be in the same. Am I gonna bring myself in the same situation again? Of course, hell yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah. Why not take that chance? Yeah. I was nervous before last time. I'm nervous right now, but I'm still gonna go talk to her, and then let's see if it's gonna happen again. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I always tell these guys to just find out for yourself. Yeah. And that's at the beginning stage. The intermediate level is like you're having that. You're balancing your anxiety still. You find ways, guys find ways to do warm-ups. I don't do warm-ups. I used to do warm-ups a long time ago, but I in the last several years, I don't need warm-ups because, like I mentioned before, it's like I had moments whereas I haven't approached, like a beautiful woman is right in front of me, and because I'm so curious about her and she's moving me, and she's giving an inviting energy, and at the same time, I wouldn't have an anxiety, but I'm looking back like, wow, like, okay, she's not going anywhere right now, but I'm just sitting back, relaxing. I'm like, okay, there's numerous amount of times I approach a woman, and I didn't expect like having a date with her and notice something really beautiful about her. And then I didn't expect that we're gonna have sex, and I didn't expect that we're gonna build a relationship. All I was expecting in the past was go and just talk to her and just have a great conversation. I never realized that I will go so far to build a beautiful relationship with her.
No.
You see?
So for guys, also kind of about you're saying in the beginner stages he has to maybe push through the fears before he can start to feel this other thing that you're also talking about, actually being moved and being able to see if a woman is receptive.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then that's when the next level comes in, whereas like you don't need to find ways to handle fear or anxiety, approach anxiety.
Yeah.
It comes down to the point whereas, and I think it's a really cool thing to have, is like, does this woman move me? Because I see a lot of beautiful girls here, right? Because if I'm that guy that just approach any girl out there and she doesn't move me, then I don't know how it is here in Europe, the same, but in America, they'll say like, you fuck anything that walks, you know? And so I don't want to be that guy because I'm not like that guy. I've been saying no a lot more than say yes to girls because I have that abundance. Okay, so that's another thing. You need to have an abundance with women in that level, so then you're making the choice where like, that girl, she's pretty, but this girl's pretty too, but what separates them two? Well, this one here, she's just like, right? And then this one here is just like people watching, is like, like, what does that tell you? If I'm looking at her and I'm noticing, I could tell a lot about her. It's like, not only is she gonna be receptive, but I'm like, you know, she's gonna be so curious about me. She's gonna be curious, why did I even talk to her? She's gonna be so curious of how, if I invited her out for a coffee or a smoothie or anything, or just a bite within 30 minutes, she's gonna be so curious what would happen. Yeah. Right? And then invite her to another thing. She's gonna be so curious. So we're in the same mindset of curiosity. So in that level of awareness, it's a beautiful thing to a guy to have that, whereas instead of asking these small questions, which is how to handle approach anxiety, or what can I do to handle anxiety, then like he'll ask bigger questions if it's about women, which is, does this girl move me?
Yeah. That's beautiful.